Hi, everyone. Welcome to our Dream Team Chat on a Tuesday. We are hanging out tonight and talking about some really cool things that we can implement in our business, but also kicking it off with just talking about some systems that me and Alex use in our business on the customer side and on the team side. But tonight is our guest speaker night. And so we have an incredible, oh my God, what did I call her earlier? A mogul. She's like a business babe mogul on our team and just in the Scentsy world. She is literally burning fires everywhere with her business. And so we are so excited to hear about a system that she uses in her business that we've talked about before, which is boards. It is an incredible app and feature that you can use for all different parts of your business. And she's going to go into that a little bit later, but me and Alex wanted to break down a couple of systems tonight for you. Probably nothing that you guys haven't heard that we've talked about before, but definitely for our new folks or just for a refresher, we're going to kind of drill in this idea again of having systems in your business. It is so important that we train ourselves to build good habits, which is what systems are, right? It's habits in our business that when something happens, we know exactly what we're doing next. Okay, that's what a system is. It's knowing what our role is when an action happens, what our reaction is. Okay, and having those systems in place is really detrimental to your business. And it may not feel like that in the beginning because you're like running on adrenaline, right? When you're a new consultant, you're just kind of like, I'm so excited and things are moving so fast and I'm just figuring it out as I go and it's okay and I can juggle all this. But as you get further in your business, you're going to experience things like potentially burnout, or you're going to experience things like your team is growing rapidly and you don't know how to keep up with all of it, or your customer base is growing rapidly and you don't know how to service all of them. And it's going to call on you to put systems in place so that there is a balance of things, right? And there are reactions to what's going on in your business that you know exactly what you're moving into next. Okay. And so I think me and Alex are actually going to be talking about like more of a schedule sometime in the next month or so, so that we can give you guys like a glimpse of our day by day and like what we do. But for today, we're kind of just doing a very general, like I'm going to be talking about the systems that I use in my business for my customers. Okay. So this is for the customer service side. These are things that I do for my customers to maintain relationships with them, to grow new customers, and to just keep my customer trainer rolling, right? Because customers are kind of the bread and butter of our business. If we're being honest, like growing a team and stuff, there's obviously a lot of benefit to that. And we need our team. And there's a lot of monetary growth that can happen on the team side. But the customer side is where it all starts, right? Because your team was probably your customer at one point. And so we have to know how to structure that in our business, or else we will lose our ever-loving minds. Because if you are actively working your business, but not being intentional and knowing what you're doing with your customers, you will have burnout and you will fall short. And when we're talking about this business, specifically, we're all Scentsy consultants, and we all are wanting our customers to be loyal to us, or we're wanting our customers to come to us with things. But if we're not making sure that we're consistent in our business and they know what to expect and that they can trust us and that they like us, there's a good chance that they could just go to Scentsy.com and find somebody else. And so we need to make sure that we're taking really good care of our customers. I am going to give you just some ideas and systems that I use in that area. Okay. So first things first, going to be completely honest with you all, follow-up is so important. Okay. Follow-up is a major part of the customer service system that I think a lot of people don't give enough credit to. Okay. And the reason for that is because they think that their customers will come to them, or they think that their social media post is a form of follow-up, and that's just not true. And so my system for following up has to remain consistent on at some level. Now it changes. I have to change it by the season, or sometimes I change it week by week, right? What it looks like for me to follow up. Sometimes I'm going through my entire list of reorders and following up with every single person. And sometimes I'm taking 10 minutes and I'm following up with as many people as possible. And sometimes my follow-up is like just following up because of an LTO, but I'm making sure that follow-up is a part of my weekly plan every single week in some form. Okay. And so following up, checking in with your customers, making sure that they got their orders, they like their orders, that they're good on their wax. All of those things speak to your customer service and how well you are paying attention to that customer's needs, right? It's anticipating their needs. And so I actually saw this saying on a truck that I was in back of. I was driving and the truck was in front of me, and it was like a service truck for a business. And it said, we don't go for the gold, we go for the golden rule. Right. And it was like speaking to their customer service and speaking to how they handle their business and their customers, and they're not just out there for the money. And I think that when you are consistent in your follow-ups and you're reaching out to your customers and building relationships with them, that's what's speaking to them, right? It is not that you're bugging them, not that you're just looking for another order, but instead you're taking the time out of your day to check in with them. When Target's not doing that, right? Walmart doesn't care if they like their $2 wax that they got, like, so you providing that and having that opportunity, don't take that for granted. Not only is it going to benefit you in your business with orders, with PRV, but it's going to benefit you with relationships, with loyalty, and with referrals. Okay. So with that, another part of that follow-up thing that I use, or the follow-up mindset that I have, is that I'm super consistent. When people order off of my website, I immediately go and text them. And we've talked about this probably a million times, but it's such a simple way to reach out to your customers and say, hey, I see that you ordered, right? Thank you so much for choosing me. That's literally the verbiage I use, right? I reach out, hey, Jen, I saw that you ordered on my site. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for choosing me as your Scentsy consultant. I hope you enjoy your stuff. I'll check in with you later. Okay, that's it. And the amount of responses I get where the customers are like, even when it's somebody I don't know, which I'll talk about, but the amount of response I get from my customers who I've had interactions with before, just being like, hey, no problem, happy to support you, love your family, hope you're doing well, thanks for texting, right? But when it's somebody that I don't know, it's brand new, I know that this can be a scary thing, right? Because you're like, these people are probably like, how'd they get my number? Like, it's weird for this random person. But I've actually never had, don't get me wrong, I've been ignored before, and who knows what they were thinking in their head, but I've never had somebody respond to me in a negative way after texting them, thanking them for their order. Okay. And so I usually follow up with a text message after a PWS email. I will come see you when I'm done. After a PWS email, and say, hey, my name's Brianna. I saw you ordered on my site. Thank you so much for choosing me. I know that you have options, because a really cool feature that we have, you guys, is when you get a PWS order and it's from somebody that you don't know, if you go into your order history, you can know that they found you on the Scentsy site, because it will say PWS and then it will say parentheses Scentsy.com. Okay. And so that means that they just went to Scentsy.com and typed in their zip code or whatever and pulled up the consultant locator. And then they actually chose you. Okay. So I make it a point with anybody, but I specifically make sure that I say with those people, thank you for choosing me as your Scentsy consultant, because I know you have options. Okay. And then I like to say, like, how did you find me? Right? Because I want to confirm, was it from the Scentsy locator? Did somebody give them my thing and then they got, whatever the case may be. I want to make sure that if it was a referral of some sort, I want to make sure to go back and thank that person. And so I always reach out and I always thank them. And then that continued conversation, should they respond, always leads with me inviting them to my VIP group. right? My customer group, so that they can continue to get to know me, continue to be showered with all things Scentsy, but also all things me, right? They're going to get to know my family and stuff like that, and see the person that they just bought Scentsy from. And I think that that's so important. It's such a gift that we have as consultants in this business, is to be able to offer those opportunities to these paying customers, to give them an insight into who we are, because we're not just Scentsy consultants, right? We look at it, sometimes we get tunnel vision, thinking this is just a business transaction, this is just a transactional relationship, but really we have the opportunity to make it so much more than that. But where a lot of consultants fall short is that they just continue to let it be a one and done, or they let it continue to be just a transactional relationship where there's no actual connection happening. And at the first sign of a fall off, or the first sign of something that looks better, those customers are going to run, and they're going to go somewhere else. And so just the little bits of pressure that you can apply on your customers in terms of good customer service, in terms of thanking them, right? You can always lead with gratitude, and you will never fall short. Okay. So if you are always leading with gratitude, it is never met with anger. Like if I'm texting a customer being like, hey, I am so thankful for you. Thank you so much for choosing my family to support. Do you need a refill on your wax? I'm never met with hostility for texting them. And very seldom am I left on red when I respond that way, or when I text them that, right? Because they're like, oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, of course. They want to respond to that portion of it. And they don't even recognize that it's me following up. I'm still expressing gratitude. And yes, I am still thankful, but like I am still following up with them. Right. And so what does that look like for you? How are you providing good customer service in those instances? You have to have a system in your business that lets you do that. Okay. Some other things, my social media consistency. Okay. I'm showing up on social media every single day. Sometimes on Instagram, it's not as much as some days. Instagram, I have recognized kind of what my role is. I have some customers on there, but those customers are also in my VIP page. So it's like, I spend majority of my time in my VIP group on Facebook, because that's where I grew it. That's where a majority of my customers still are. And the customers that aren't there, I am pulling in my emails that I do, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. But I stay consistent on my social media. There has never been a day since I have joined over 6 years ago, never been a day I have not posted in my VIP group. I have never ghosted them. I have never not posted, even when I was sick, right? I have at least posted once, letting them know what's going on. Okay. So my customer service is showing up for them consistently on social media, so that they're not forgetting who I am. They're not having to guess if Bree's still doing Scentsy. They're not having to guess if I still love my job. Okay, there is no, wait, let me see if I can find Bree's page. Nope, here I am. I'm probably the first thing they see when they get up in the morning, right? When they open up their Facebook, I'm probably the first post, truthfully, right? And to me, that is providing a level of customer service that not a lot of people do, because a lot of people are not willing to be consistent like that. And that's not a dig. Okay, that's just the truth. People showing up consistently for some things like social media, VIP groups, and I've seen it with other leaders, not on our team, but with other leaders who say, I'm burnt out of my VIP group and I'm just not posting in it anymore. And it's like, I would never. My customers are looking for it and they're watching, right? And that's where our interaction and relational content happens, is inside the VIP group and on my Instagram. Okay. So the next thing is, I do weekly email. We've talked about this before, I know, but I send an email on MailChimp to my customers on Fridays, 99% of the time. Sometimes it's on a Monday, but I send an email to my customers every single week. The last 500 people who have ordered from me, they get an email. Okay. To me, that level of customer service is, it's pretty on brand with what I feel like a lot of marketing companies are doing, or a lot of companies are marketing to, is emails now. I feel like a lot of places are going to emails. I'm not sure why, but I wanted to make sure that I'm not missing any of my customers, because not all my customers are checking their Facebooks every day, or they're not getting my notifications, or whatever the case may be. And so if I can't catch you on Facebook, I'm gonna catch you in your inbox. And they can choose to read it or not read it, whatever, but I am doing, and then that's where my text message follow-up comes in, right? I'm going to make sure you see my name, right? I'm going to make sure that I put out the opportunity for us to connect. No, you may not always get a response. No, it may not always pan out in an order. No, it may not always be a customer turned best friend, right? But I am always going to provide the opportunity for that to happen. I'm going to make sure I'm doing all I can. Okay. And so I have set up my business in a way where I say, okay, on Fridays, I'm spending 30-ish minutes working on an email to send out to my customers in the name of customer service, right? In the name of building relationships, in the name of providing value and letting them know what's coming. And then the last thing that I do on the customer side of things is front loading my calendar. Okay, I am booking parties. I book some very small events every once in a while, but I'm booking parties, and I'm booking Facebook events, not parties, but Facebook events like bingo and stuff like that. And I'm doing those things with my customers. I'm front loading because, as most of you probably know, you cannot stay within the same circle of customers that you had when you first started. You have to continually be growing that, and you cannot grow that unless you are front loading your calendar, specifically with parties, specifically booking parties with the customers you have now to get into their circle that you didn't have reach with in the beginning. But now you have booked a party with your customer who invited all her work friends, and now you have a network, a new network. Okay, and then you book another party, and you book a party over here with this mom group, and all the things, right? That's what front loading your calendar looks like. It's throwing out that net of networking, like a physical net, and it's bringing in those new customers, those new potential teamies, those new potential party hosts, right? But you have to constantly be doing that. Your customer base is a revolving door. The customers you have today, mark my words, maybe even half of the customers you have today will not be your customers in a year, right? Customers go through spurts. A lot of customers go through spurts. I do have some, and I know Alexx has some that have been customers for years, and you'll have a few like that. But it's a revolving door. Not only that, but like, some of your best customers should be the ones that you're recruiting, right? And so those should become your teammates. So you should be constantly expanding your network as much as possible. And that looks like front loading your calendar. That looks like reaching out and booking parties. That looks like going out and finding events, and doing all of those things that seem really scary in the beginning. And I hear you. Okay. But you will not get far with the same customers that you have today if you choose to keep it that way forever. So I'm going to hand it over to Alexx.
Awesome. Okay. Okay, quietly, because it's mommy's turn to talk. Okay. Okay. So I love customer service stuff. I feel like we could and should talk about it all day long. I think it is just so important to grow your business, and you cannot grow your business without it. So yes, to everything Bree said. I know the things that Chantel is going to share with us is going to echo some of that. And absolutely, yes, you have to have amazing customer service to build your business. And in fact, you have to have amazing customer service to build your business, to grow your team. Okay. So some of the systems that I'm going to be talking about tonight are going to be on the team side of things, because there's a lot of leaders here watching, a lot of leaders that will watch the replay, a lot of essential or certified consultants now who are going to become leaders in the future. And so these are going to be really great ideas to help you build some foundational systems for your business that are going to help you on the leadership side of things, because it is not fair to sponsor someone and then just throw them to the wind and hope they figure it out on their own. Okay. It is not fair to you as a leader to just do that. Okay, it is not fair to your consultant who joined under you to be led that way. Okay. And it is also not enough to just like tag them on team page posts and that be enough. Okay. There has to be some legwork on your end of things if you're going to sponsor consultants, and be getting the leadership bonuses off of people, be receiving all of the perks that comes with leadership. There's also some responsibility on your end too. And I personally believe that leadership is quite simple once you have some systems in play and once you know what you're going to be doing for your business. And so, just quickly, I'm going to share some important touch points for you guys that if you feel like you're lacking a system in this leadership area, write it down and go research it later, because there's a million different ways to work this business. And I love that. So what works for me or Brie or Chantel may not work for you, but nonetheless, it is still important for you to figure out a way for it to work for you. Okay. And a lot of these things, customer side and team side, you can do them a million ways, right? But like for me, I delegate it by day, right? So on Mondays, I do these things, and on Tuesdays, I do these things. And that's what's called scalable systems. And so for my team, I do team stuff on Tuesday, which correlates really well with Training Tuesday, and the Dream Team chats, right? That's when I generally send out my emails and recognition and all of that good stuff. So I generally do my team stuff on Tuesday, within a little bit of trickle later on in the week as well for things that I'm, tying up or following up with. But just know, like, figuring out where you're putting these things into your day to day or week to week is going to be important for you, right? For me, I might do it on Tuesday, but for you, you might want to spend 15 minutes a day doing that. And so I just want to let you guys know that whatever that looks like for you, that's totally okay. But figuring that out is going to be very important. Okay. Okay. So for me, for my team, some really important systems that I have, and I know this is for Bree as well, is a new consultant system. So when a new person joins, what do you do, right? So having a system for that, whatever that looks like for you, I add them to the team page, I introduce them, I go over the checklist with them, I help them get logged into the workstation, I recommend a launch party, I give them information on how to close out parties and how shipping and host rewards work, right? What does training a new consultant look like for you? That is going to be very important, because ideally that's going to be a repetition in your business. You don't want to just recruit one new person and that's it. You'll want that to be something that happens monthly or multiple times a month. And so it's very important that you have a system. And again, it's not always going to look the same. Someone who joins wanting to earn a trip and someone who joins just to get free and half off Cincy have very different business goals, right? So you kind of approach their launch very differently, but nonetheless, you need to have a system for that and know what that looks like for you. Okay. Having new consultant training is critical to get your new consultant started on the right foot. A confident consultant is a consultant that moves and does work in their business. If you have someone who joins and they have no idea what a party is, they have no idea what host rewards are, they have no idea how to collect orders, they are not going to sell Cincy. They're going to be so unsure that they just don't do anything. Okay. So your goal is to get them confident enough to share Cincy. Okay. And for me, that's making sure they know how the order system works. When they know how the order system works, they feel confident to share and collect orders because they know what to do. Okay. So for me, that is the most important thing. Some other things that I do that I think is really important on the team side of things is emails. Like Bree said, not everyone is on Facebook, right? And I want to connect with my team in a way that if they're not on Facebook, they still know what's going on. And so while I send some recognition emails later on in the month, generally within the first 5 days or so of the month, I'm sending out a newsletter to my team. Here's what's going on the workstation. Here's what's going on in the Cincy world. Here's how we can connect, reach out if you need anything, right? And this is just something that I have found is just an extra layer of communication, and it's very helpful. I use MailChimp, which we talked about a few weeks ago on our Dream Team chat. I use MailChimp to draft up these emails. I changed I keep the template and change the content monthly. So it doesn't take me very long at all. I'm really just plugging things in from the team page over into the email and sending that out once a month, along with other things like new consultant emails, different recognition emails, right? Top PRV, almost active. If your account's going to cancel, I send email information about this too. But I also think recognition is important in different ways than just email too. I think recognition is important on the team page. I think recognition is important one-on-one communication, quick little shouts of praise through text or a voice message, right? Bree posted in our leadership group today that she is going to start doing postcards occasionally, and I love that too. Recognition can go a really long way, and what's really cool about it is it's free. Recognition, where you are rewarding people moving and grooving in their business, is a really amazing way to connect with your team, and it's a really great system to implement. So whether that looks like weekly for you, monthly, right? Definitely take a look at what recognition could look like for you as you are building your team. Okay. I think it is so important that we are recognizing what we want repeated. So if you have a teammate rocking social media or doing a party, doing an event, promoting to certified, building their team, having a party, anything like that is worth recognizing. And then some actual number things like high sales, new teammates, being active, things like that are absolutely worth recognition. And so what you reward gets repeated. So definitely find a system for that as well. And then don't be afraid to check in. I think checking in with your teammates is so important. And if you have a small team, you might think this is a no-brainer. If you have, 5 people or less on your team, you might think it is easy as pie to check in with your team. And maybe you guys are chatting all the time and you guys are best friends. And I think that's absolutely incredible. Right? But as you grow your team, as your business grows, as you have 15 people on your team, and then they have 2 or 3 people on your team, and your team is now double or triple or quadruple the size from your 5 people where you're talking all day, it becomes more hard to chat with them all day, every day, all the time, check in, know everything about them, right? But it is important as a leader to focus on your front line, the people who have directly joined under you or rolled up to you, okay? Focus on them, find a system that works for you. I cannot say that I check in with my front line every single week, every single one of them. Okay. But for me, I check in with a few. I pick a few people that are performing and then a few people I haven't chatted with in a while, and I'm going to check in with them. Okay. Additionally, I will reach down to my downline, which means people who are not directly under me, and just say, hey, I hope things are doing well. I see you. Just wanted to introduce myself. Just wanted to open a line of communication, right? Knowing them on a human level is so important. They aren't just a number. They aren't just a teammate on your team. They're a human with a real life going on, right? And you'll find when you're checking in, you are creating that trust factor. You're building connection. And oftentimes you can really help them problem solve areas of their business that they might be needing help with that they're not telling you, they're not reaching out to you for. And so as their leader, checking in gives you a really great opportunity to do that. So I think checking in is a really great system. Again, it could be once a week or every day you check in with one person, or on a monthly basis, you check in with these criteria, right? Again, it's going to have to be finding what works for you. Okay. Just a few other systems that I do, I know Bree does, I know Chantel does too, is posting on the team page. Your team page, our team page, the True Life, the Scented Dreamers, Chantel's team page. If you have a team page, if you're a leader, your team page is a huge asset to your business. Okay. And it is important to be consistent on the team page because you are showing what you're doing, and your teammates and your peers are watching, and they're getting encouraged and they're learning. And when they're encouraged and they're learning, then they begin doing, and then they will start sharing as well. And it's this really great culture and ripple effect from your consistency. Okay. I want to encourage all of you guys to share on the team page as often as you can. Nothing is too little, or things that have been repeated. It is still okay to share. how you package an order, a follow-up conversation. We encourage you guys to do this all the time because we know how important it is. Okay. Share how you're working, share some encouragement, and do it in a consistent way because it matters. People are watching, your teammates are watching, people are learning, and it also really hones in onto those leadership skills that you are trying to fine tune and improve on. Okay. So posting in your team page, being a part of the team page, answering questions on the team page, welcoming people on the team page, sharing how you're working on the team page. It is a really beautiful thing that I really want to encourage you guys, if you're not already doing, to make that a part of your at least weekly business routine. Okay. It's going to enhance your business and the business around you. A rising tide lifts all boats, right? That's the saying. And so when we are just sharing this awesome community that we have, it's going to lift everyone's businesses. It's going to increase the encouragement. It's going to increase the excitement. And it's just a really beautiful thing. Okay. And then my last system that I want to share on the team building side, and then we're going to pass it to Chantel, is talking about sponsoring. Okay. Having a system for join conversations, right? Again, doesn't have to necessarily be daily. Maybe it's weekly, right? Or maybe it is daily. Maybe it's easier to break up those join conversations to one a day. And I think that's a really beautiful goal. Okay. But having those join conversations so you are consistently sponsoring in your business, tracking those join conversations so you are consistently following up on those conversations. Okay. Sponsoring consultants consistently so you are continuing to build your business and help others build their business. That is a very crucial system for your leadership side of things. Okay. We don't want to be focusing nonstop on one group of people. Okay. Like Bree said, with your customers, there's a wave of customers that happen. And likewise, there's a wave of teammates that happen. So if you are so tunnel vision that you are forgetting that you need to focus on sponsoring as well, bring new people in, you are going to find that the 5 people you sponsored over the last 3 years are not going to build your business in the same way as bringing 5 new people in. Okay. And it would be amazing if all 5 consultants you sponsored stay the course and stay for years and years. That would be incredible. And if all 5 of the 5 people you sponsor do that, then you are amazing. And that is a miracle. Okay. But the reality is that we are consistently having to bring new people into this business. And so to find a system where you are consistently focusing on bringing new people into this business is going to be so important to keep your business healthy and to keep your business growing. And I think that's what we all want. We all want a growing, healthy business. And especially if you're a leader, you know that this is really important, that we continue to focus on sponsoring every single month. And then if you break it down every single month, every single week, right? Sponsoring is a system that I have in my business where it's like at least every week I'm having 3 to 5 join conversations, whether it's I'm talking to new people or following up with people I've had conversations with previously. That is something that's in my business task that I do every single week. And so I want to encourage you guys to do that as well. Okay. That's all for me on the team side of systems. You guys, this is a lot of information already. We've kind of just been throwing some things at you, some ideas, and some different thoughts. Maybe they're new and you've never heard them before, but I highly doubt that. These are all things Bree and I have talked about quite a bit. Okay. But what is new, what we are going to hear about that I bet we are going to find some new things, is my girl Chantel. She's going to come share how she uses boards in her business as a system for her business. Bree and I shared how we're using boards as a party tool, maybe a month ago or 2 months ago. And Chantel was like, hey, I use boards and I use them for parties, but I use them totally different. And I'm like, I want to see what you're doing because Chantel is amazing, you guys. She's been a consultant for under 2 years now. She's a director with Scentsy. She promoted to director, I think, in August. She is a top 50 earner, right? Top 50 earner, and going on a cruise in January for being in the top 50 of leadership. She has already earned level 2 of the current incentive to Hawaii, and she's rocking it. She's going to earn level 3 in no time. She is a team building, PRV selling, boy mama, and the sweetest soul ever. She's incredible. She's going to share how she's using boards, and we cannot wait for that. So without further ado, go on, Chantel. Did you make her a host, Bree?
Hey. Okay. So thank you, Alexx, very much for that. And I just have to say, I could not be where I am without this team and without my team that I have. I have some amazing girls on my team that I am so, so grateful for, and just you guys as a resource. So thank you guys. But also I have been here for less than 2 years, and I have accomplished so much more than I could have ever asked, but you can too. Anybody can. So one thing I wanted to kind of repeat is what Alexx said on what works for one person may not work for everybody. So take this all as a tip and a piece of information. Don't take it as you have to learn this, you have to know it, because it may not work for you. But if it does, I'm happy to help, and I'm happy to share that with you. So let me, oh gosh, it's saying to pin. I don't know how to unpin you, sorry. So
Use the 3 little dots on her thing, and it'll be a drop down menu.
it gives me an option to pin her, not unpin.
Okay, then do yours and say make spotlight. Spotlight
Okay.
for all.
There we go. Okay. All right. So I'm going to show you boards. I use it in a different way than what some do. Maybe you do use it as this, but hopefully this helps you guys and see. I'm going to share my screen here, and we'll go from here. Okay. So with boards, can everybody see my screen? Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay. All right. So with boards, there are multiple ways that you can use this. It is a free app, and I am all for free because Lord knows that money goes everywhere else and every which way, and we need all the free we can get. Being a mom of 2 crazy boys and working full time and just boys and sports and everything else that goes on in life, I needed something to make things a little bit more simpler. I am huge on follow-up. I feel like follow-up is how I am where I am now. And follow-up, again, one system may not work for you versus another, but this to me is what simplifies it for me. So hopefully it helps you. One of the things that Alexx and Bree went over recently was the shop and scroll things that you can do with boards. And over here on my left side, I have multiple boards on my part. You don't have to have all of these, but I'll show you. I kind of grab information from other consultants. One thing I love about Cincy is everybody is so great at sharing things with each other. So they share their boards, and then you can then go in and copy and make it your own. So I think that's great, but I wanted to show you this shop and scroll thing first. So this is a shop and scroll that I made, and I send this to people that do bag parties. I send it to people that do Facebook parties but are texting people. I send this to pretty much everybody. So when they click this link, they can choose the catalogs. It has some information about me. I do party packs. It's something that I do. Nobody else has to do it. It's not necessary. But basically when somebody fills this out, I'm going to click it here and show you. It takes them to this page. They put in their name, their address, phone number, email, if they shopped with me before, if they're interested in free Cincy, if they've ever thought about being a consultant, pretty much anything you would need to know from somebody that they can quickly do just by a click of a button. So when people invite people to parties, they can do that. It kind of goes over ordering. They can click that and access my site. So this is a shop and scroll option. Again, that I have and that I created, and it really actually was not too hard to create. If you're familiar with Canva, it's pretty user friendly. once I got the template to kind of help with from Alexx. So again, this is how the shop and scroll looks on my end that I send out to people. I also have a new teeny thing that I send out. So this is another thing that I send out. I used to mail this out to everybody, but I was finding myself getting hard to stay on top of that with people joining. And for me to be consistent, I needed to find another way. So this is now something that I send to new teammates. It has my information in there. It's got information on how we get paid, the basics, our compensation plan. I made a video to kind of go over the workstation. It's got multiple different things in there. Again, this is a simple thing that I text to people when they join, as well as like obviously a personal message with them too. I'm not a robot. So, so that is one component to boards, but there is so much more. If you do Facebook parties, I know you may know that there are mock parties on Facebook that you can join, and on mock parties, people will share what they post, kind of post by post, that you can then copy and post in your own Facebook party. But I was finding it extremely hard and frustrating to continuously flip from screen to screen and copy and pasting. So I made a board, and I am happy to share this with anybody that would like it. The only thing I would say is obviously read through what you're sharing of it, because if you're not wanting to do free party packs, you're not going to want to be offering those. And you're probably not going to want to be saying you have a son named Chase when you don't even have kids. So just make sure that you do that. And this may look like a lot to people. You don't have to do this. So basically in my party goods board, I have my own host coaching text that I send out to people. I have different posts that I do throughout the party. So to kind of backtrack, sorry, with boards, when you download the app on your phone, and I use the phone 99% of the time, 99.9% of the time, when you download it, it gives you an option to add boards to your keyboard. And I 100% recommend it. Because basically what that means is when I go to text somebody, like my party host, I click on boards on my phone, and I wish I could share my screen. So, okay, I'm going to share on this. I don't know how good you're going to be able to see it, but basically when I click this, I have the little world down here, and it pulls up my boards. So literally all I have to do is I go to, like, just say I'm telling her about hosting a party. I hit host coaching text, adding to party, boom, it puts all of that in a text message, and I send it. So it literally transfers everything over. It takes the work out of what you have to do. Super easy. And it's the same for Facebook. So when you're on your phone and you're scheduling parties on Facebook, it makes it 100% easier. I'm telling you, it's a godsend. So basically when you are on Facebook, you literally would just click on like this, and everything that I have here will copy into the Facebook post. Then I can schedule it, and that's how I schedule my parties. You are also able to edit it once you put that in there before you actually hit to confirm and submit on your Facebook party itself. Like, obviously I'm going to take out link, and I'm going to put the person's party link there. If you didn't want this part in there, you could take it out. I'm going to take out the word host and put their name there, but it literally copies and pastes wherever you put it, as long as it's conjoined to your keyboard on your phone. So for my party stuff here, I have pre-party information that I do. I do my parties over, so I usually invite them on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I do pre-party posts, and not like frequent. It's just information, some of the stuff that's available right now. And then I do Monday through the following Sunday is the party. Every day I do something different. So in this party goods thing, you not only can have the words and everything, but you can also make a folder with all of your pictures. So if you're like me, I had over 6,000 pictures on my phone, which is still probably not a lot compared to some of you guys. And it was just clogging it up and I was losing my pictures. So now when I have a new picture of a warmer that I take myself or anything, I simply just upload it into here. And then all I have to do on my phone is click that picture, paste it, and it automatically goes. I don't have to re-download it onto my phone every time. Now, I do have an iPhone. I've heard if you have Android or Samsung, you do have to save it and like crop something. I'm not sure if that's still the case or if it's changed with all the upgrades, but if you have an iPhone, it's literally simple copy paste. That's it. And it doesn't save to your photos every single time. So I put everything in here, but also if you join my board too, you'll have access to all of this as well. So this is basically one amazing way to do a party. If you do Facebook parties, I highly recommend making your own board or using somebody's board and going from there. So if you were to get my board link and you're like, okay, I like this, but I want to edit it to my own and everything, how you would do that is you actually would copy it. So what you are going to do, now I got to remember how I did this earlier. Okay, so up at the top on a phone, it's totally different. So there's 3 dots here. And if you hit select, that is going to select this board. Again, this is totally different on this compared to, let me see here. I guess it would help if I knew how to do this for you guys, huh? So you can select the whole board though, and you can paste it. And I don't know why on here, because on my phone, it pops up, you select it, and then basically you copy it and you can paste it. But I'm just going to show you because I know for sure I can do this. Like if I liked this board where it's a folder of all of my host coaching text, you can click that, you'll hit copy, and then you can make your own board by creating a board or add to a previous board that was already made. You click paste here and boom, this is now yours. You have access to change anything in this and it's not going to impact mine or anybody else's that have it. Say you're like me and you accidentally made a second board that you don't need. It's super easy to click that board, click the 3 dots, delete the board. So that is one thing that I love about boards is it is easy to copy a whole folder and then basically have the outline of whatever you need and make it your own. So that is a huge thing to me with boards. I think it's great. So that is how I do parties. My other way that I use it, again, utilizing the fact that you can use your keyboard to copy and paste stuff, is I have follow-ups in here. Because I found that I was basically sending the same message to my host every single time, or if somebody requested a party pack, and it just was much easier to already have it done. And especially being on the go, I can just copy paste, boom, it's done, it's sent. And I know that I did my part of a follow-up. So when somebody requests a party pack, this is what I send to them. And it just says, hey there, thank you for your interest in a free party pack for whoever Cincy party. Just need you to fill out this form so I can better see what you're like, more suited for you. If you have any questions, let me know. They can click that and then it will automatically take them to my party pack request form. Same with this. I could text this to them. Basically lets them know that I got the party pack out in the morning, and then also noted that you wanted to do a party. Kind of, it's short, it's simple, it's sweet. I also have sample invite posts for my hosts because a lot of hosts have no idea what to put, how to word things or anything like that. And I feel like as consultants, we have to remember that too, that everybody starts from the ground up and not everybody knows the things that are common knowledge to us. So I always have sample things here that I can do that as well. And again, it's literally just a copy paste into that based off of your phone. So this is kind of one thing that's nice. And I wanted to share kind of how I do that. So I wanted to share with you too, how to create a board. So if you're creating your own board, there is an option on the left down here. It says create board. And then you're going to click add. So when you create a board, you can do just text only where, and I'm just going to kind of do this. And just as an example, I'm going to put welcome. And then, yeah, there you go. So we're going to do that. And then, so it pops up here. Then I'm going to add something else. You can add an image. So this will automatically take you to on your phone. I don't even know what this is. Okay, Dumbo. So I'm adding it as an image. You can add a link, which the link to me is huge. So basically when you have a link on a board, if you send this board, whether text message or Facebook post to anybody and they click on this link, it's going to take them directly to whatever it was that you put in there. So whether it's your website, it's your Facebook page, it's your PayPal link, your Venmo, anything, that link is going to take them directly to there. So for me, the link is a huge thing. You can now upload videos, which is amazing. So you can do customized videos to them. YouTube, I don't know if you caught that in my Teamies thing. I had my YouTube videos in there. So you can literally paste your YouTube video in there. There's all kinds of things that you can do with that. And then there's folders. So a folder is basically what you had seen like here where you click it and then it opens up to multiple other things. I am OCD and I cannot stand clutter. So like my iPhone is ridiculous. I have so many folders and groups and everything. I'm a huge person on folders to kind of clean it up a little bit. So you can do a folder with this, which is great. And then there's also a page, which is new. So when you do a page, this is basically, let me go back here. Sorry, I just want to make sure. There we go. Okay. So basically a page is what I did for the shop and scroll. This is a page where it has all of the information in there. So when I press this on my phone, it texts this and it texts a link that they click and it takes them directly to this. They don't have to sign into anything. They don't have to make an account for anything. They click that link and it takes them directly to it. So let's say I'm making a page, and the nice thing when you do it on a desktop, it gives you a preview over here too. It's the same thing. You can add in content from your board. So I could literally go in here, clip my shop and scroll, and I can select what I want in there, hit OK, and it's going to transfer over into this new page that I made. You can do a headline to make it stand out more, text, just which is kind of like the basic little stuff in between, images, video, YouTube. Button is like a link. So when you click button, it opens this up and there's the link that you could put your PWS or whatever in that. You can also put a link for Zoom. So like if you were sharing with your teamies about Tuesday night Zoom thing, you could put the Zoom link in that. Messenger, phone number, an option for people to text you from, an option for people to email you from. Here's PayPal and Venmo again. So if you were to click this, you would just copy and paste your PayPal link. And then all people have to do when they get this is they just click it, boom, it takes them to their PayPal thing for them to automatically send you money for an order. There's also a form that you can do. So that form that I made for party packs, you can make your own form on here and do it that way. It's super easy. The boards is a lot and it's complex, but once you start breaking it down, it's really not that bad. And it's actually a huge time saver. So let me go back through and delete all of this before I accidentally send this to somebody else and it's half gone. So basically that's kind of boards in a nutshell. And I feel like I went over that really quick. But the basic thing of it is boards is something that you can put in your phone and your keyboard, easily send text messages, easily send post parties. I mean, easily do anything with it. And all you have to do too is if you see something you like, all you're going to have to do is just click that button, copy it, or move it. Well, for me, I move it, but you're not going to want to move it. But all you have to do is copy that and then post it into your own thing and then change it up to whatever you like. There is like, there's one girl here. I'll show you this. So I do post on my Facebook every day, kind of how Bree said, I don't ever miss a day without doing a post. But there's sometimes that I don't know what the heck I'm going to post and I need ideas. So this girl has a mock VIP group and she posts something every day and she shares her posts for ideas, which I think is amazing. So if I'm ever looking for something to post and I don't know what to post, I can click on here and look what she's got and use something like that. And again, it's the same thing because I joined her board. I can easily just click on it on my phone's keyboard and boom, it's in my Facebook. So, I hope that that helps you guys with everything. Again, I'm happy to share things. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. Let me know, but hopefully this helps you guys with it. I'm trying to see how to unshare my screen. Let's see. Okay, I'm obviously not clearly very tech savvy on this stuff here. So, oh, there we go. So hopefully that helps everybody in seeing boards. I think boards is amazing and it's such a time saver. How do you join boards? You make an account. It is free, Michelle. And then you basically just, when somebody shares their boards link, you click that, you'll put in your email and then boom, it's already in your boards. There is a Facebook group that Jen Brant, I think it is, does. And she shares all of hers. Okay. Others when in the app. So how you share it with others. Let me go back to that here. Sorry. So to share my board with other people, you're going to go to the board you want to share and you're just going to click that share hyperlink. It's copied to the clipboard and then you just basically paste it on Facebook or wherever it is that you're wanting to go. So it's just hitting that share button. So hopefully that helps. But if you guys have any questions, let me know and thank you.
Thank you so much, girl.
I'm like, hopefully I stopped. Did I stop recording?
Oh, not yet.
Oh, shit.
Wait. Do you have the button? I reclaimed host, but I don't have it.
I only have the button to record on this computer.